almost time. The Division One NCAA 2019 brackets have finally come out. There's a lot of issues as far as how the seating went. I'm not going to go too much into seating here unless it kind of comes up as I go through the matchups. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go match by match here, make my picks, and then go all the way to the title. So starting off with Rivera in the pigtail, I'm not going to go through the pigtail. I'll just say that Sebastian's going to win there. See how this works out. All right, so we're taking the pigtail out. And then for Oliver Matten, this is a match that has happened once. It just happened actually at Big Tens with Oliver winning 6-3. So I think that Oliver is going to be able to get the win here too. So he will move on to face Rivera. Between Foley and Cerrante, these guys don't have a previous match, but I think Rayvon Foley should get the win here. So I'll move him forward. Rico Montoya versus Araujo. Araujo was undefeated up until he met Pat Glory in the EIWAs, but I think he should be able to get the win in this match as well. There is no previous matchup between the two of these guys. Between Muller and Punky, Muller is undefeated right now. Punky's been okay from Mizzou, but can't go against a guy who's undefeated right now, at least not until we get to the tougher matchups. So what that would mean is that we would have Rivera versus Oliver in the round of 16 here. I would take Rivera over Oliver there. They've already gone against each other 3 different times, and Rivera's won by pin every single time. So that would take Oliver out of it. Between Foley and Araujo, they have not gone against each other in college. I'm kind of a believer in Vito, even though he did have that loss to Pat Glory. So I think he's going to be able to get past Rayvon Foley here, which isn't an upset by seeding standards, but Foley's been more established, whereas Araujo's a freshman, so we don't exactly know what's going on with him. So then that would leave Rivera and Vito in the quarterfinals here. So this would just be 1 versus 8, I believe. Yeah, this is Vito's the 8 seed. It kind of looks like a 6 right there. But then I would have to pick Rivera to go through there as well. Those two haven't gone against each other in college, but you would have to favor Sebastian Rivera to hold his quarter and get to the semis. So let's just clear those out. If this wants to clear. All right. Let's scroll down. So we got that quarter taken care of. So I did say Mueller over Punky. Let me just make sure we get this over here. So Punky's out. Between Townsville and McGee, these guys have not gone against each other before. I think there's a possibility for an upset here, but I think McGee is going to be able to pull it out, so I'll take Townsville out there. Between Drew Hildebrandt and Alex Mackel, I'll take Drew Hildebrandt. Again, these guys have not gone against each other this year. Curry and Bresser, another matchup where there isn't any previous matchups between the two of them, but I'll take Bresser. Bresser's been very good all year, had a very close loss to Sebastian Rivera, but outside of that has been undefeated. And to move forward in the quarters here, it would be Mueller versus McGee. I will take Mueller in that. These guys also haven't gone against each other before, so that would be a new matchup for those two. And then with Drew Hildebrandt and Ronnie Bresser, those guys also have not gone against each other in college, but I will take Bresser in here. So that would leave Bresser and Mueller in the quarterfinals. And I will actually pick the undefeated Mueller to have a minor upset, if you'd call it that, over Ronnie Bresser. So that would mean that Mueller moves forward. So the top half would be Mueller or Jack Mueller of Virginia, currently undefeated, against Sebastian Rivera, who is undefeated at his weight, although he does have a loss, moving up a weight to Micic. All right, next quarter, we go down to the one that Spencer Lee is the top seed in. So Lee versus Moody. These guys haven't gone against each other, but I would take Spencer Lee here. He's looking a little bit better in the Big Tens. Moises versus Milhoff. This one we actually have seen. Zeke won 2-1 most recently, but Milhoff also had a 2-1 win back in 2017. So I will take Zeke Moisey to go through here. All right, the next match we have Petrowski and Schwarm. These guys have not gone against each other this year, but I will take Travis Petrowski. We have Allen and Russell. No matchups between these two either. So I'll take Sean Russell, who's had a very strong year. And then Actually, I won't go down to Glory and Houndsman. So then you would have Lee versus Moisey. These guys have gone against each other this year. Spencer Lee won by a score of 18-4 on September 3rd, or not September 3rd, on February 3rd in Nebraska. So I'll move Spencer Lee on from there. And then with Travis Petrowski and Sean Russell, these guys have had a match against each other. It was on November 30th, so it was this season, and Sean Russell won that match 2-0, didn't give up a takedown, so I will pick Sean Russell to win this match. And so that puts Spencer Lee versus Sean Russell in the quarters. Lee beat Russell both times this year, won by a score of 4-0 in Minnesota, and then won by a score of 8-0 for the major decision at Big Tens. And he also had a dominant win by tech fall against him back when he was at Edinburgh last year. So I'll pick Spencer Lee to move on to the semifinals from his quarter. And then now we will go down to the final quarter here. And we have Pat Glory versus Malik Heinzelman. No matchups between the two of them in college. But I will take Pat Glory. Then we have Werner versus Fleetwood. This one we did have a matchup. It was earlier this year, so on December 8th, Fleetwood won this match by a score of 6-5. So I'll pick Fleetwood to win it again, though that was a close match. Then we have Sean Foss and Schroeder of Purdue. These guys have gone against each other. It was this season. Foss won by a score of 7-1. I figure he'll win again. And then Weston Piccinini, I will go with Piccinini, the number 2 seed. Moving on, you got Pat Glory and Brent Fleetwood. These guys have not gone against each other this season. I'm going to pick Pat Glory to win this match. And then between Foss and Piccinini, this is where it really gets interesting. This one I'm sure you guys are probably going to kill me for making that a pick. But these guys have gone against each other one time. It was last year, not this year. Piccinini has gotten a lot better this year. Foss is kind of a tough guy to tell because he isn't all that active. Part of it has to do with the weight cut. But they do have one match against each other, and the result of that was Sean Foss winning 9-5. And you could definitely make an argument to me that Piccinini was getting trashed around by Spencer Lee last year, and he got a pin over him this year. So he's definitely made some improvements. I think that's a fair argument, but I'm actually going to pick the upset here and pick Sean Foss over Nick Piccinini, which would then leave Pat Glory versus Sean Foss, and I will take Pat Glory to move on. So it will be Glory versus Lee and Rivera versus Mueller in the semifinals. So we're going to move back up. So then Sebastian Rivera versus Jack Mueller. These guys have not gone against each other this year. Tough to pick between two guys who are undefeated at the weight, but I'm going to go with Sebastian Rivera just because of his body of work. He's beaten a lot of the top guys. He's beaten Spencer Lee twice. He's beaten Bresser. We haven't seen, outside of what we saw from Mueller against Foss, and Mueller did have a very dominant win over Foss. It's just kind of hard to pick him against someone who we actually know what we can expect from them. So I'm going to pick Sebastian Rivera to get into the finals. And then on the bottom half of the draw, it would be Spencer Lee versus Pat Glory. Spencer Lee's 2-0 against Glory. He had an 18-2 major decision on November 16th at the dual meet, and he had a 12-6 win at Midlands where he was up 12-0 at one point and kind of lost a very winnable scramble that ended up getting him, having him give up back points and a reversal, and from there he got ridden out the entire time. But outside of that, it was a fairly dominant performance by him, even though the last 4 minutes weren't all that great for him. So I think he'll be able to get another win over Glory, and that would mean Spencer Lee versus Sebastian Rivera, the third match. In the first match of the year, it was 3 takedowns to 0. 7-3 was the score for Sebastian Rivera. In Big Tens, we had Rivera down 3-0 with about a minute left, had the escape, which was sort of questionable. Some people, from how I saw it, I think that Sebastian Rivera was able to get out of bounds in time, or was able to get out before Lee was out of bounds. Some people think it was the other way. But either way, there was a ridiculous hands to the face call. And by ridiculous, I just mean the rule is ridiculous. It was the correct call, but that's another issue. But Spencer Lee ends up choking the match away and ends up losing. But he did make a lot of improvements from the first match. I think he had the second match in hand. And I think that with this third crack at Sebastian Rivera, Spencer Lee is going to get revenge. And Spencer Lee is going to repeat as a national champion in 2019.